This is Unaffected. Welcome to Unaffected, a podcast that offers a curated look at some obscure, forgotten, and neglected singers of the mid-20th century. I'm your host, Ethan Stoller, and let's jump right in. I got a real good one today, like Unaffected Hall of Famer, maybe even a Mount Rushmorer. Pinky Winters is her name. Born Phyllis Wozniak from Michigan City, Indiana. I don't know why I kind of know why folks take a stage name that's more waspy sounding. Apparently she was at some venue in LA and she's a good singer. Her name's Phyllis Wozniak. What? No, your name's Pinky Winters now. So that's about the amount of in-depth I've heard about the name change. But, that's welcome to America. So I thought it'd be fun to share with you, perhaps this is your first hearing of Pinky Winters, the way I first heard Pinky Winters, which was I was at Hyde Park Records on 53rd Street. Maybe you know it. It's right across the street, actually, from the site of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama's first kiss. They were, I guess, got some ice cream over there on 53rd Street, and there's a little plaque there. It's very sweet. And remembering a simpler time if you're over there. So I was at Hyde Park Records. They had this record. It was Pinky Winters. I have it right here. It's called Lonely One, the modern vocal styling of Pinky Winters. And it's not my favorite cover, and it wasn't then either. I remember it was $9.99, and it's kind of like got a drawing mixed with a photograph, and she looks kind of stodgy, and she's facing away. She has like a floor-length dress. It's really a weird cover, and she's like sitting on a bench feeding a cartoon bird, a seagull maybe. It's strange, and not like great. But it was $9.99. I flipped the back, as I'm doing now, and read the liner notes about what a good singer Pinky Winters was. In fact, I'll read you the opening paragraph. It says, "In this day and age of out of tune, out of breath, and out of sight singers, it is like that well-known breath of spring to welcome Miss Pinky Winters of Michigan City, Indiana, to the overpopulated but under-talented ranks of modern vocaldom." I see this a lot in this era. The liner notes of these records tend to tear down everyone. It's kind of not my favorite. But anyway, I thought, you know what? $10, I'll grab it, see how it goes. And I remember I don't do this anymore. I listen to records as soon as I buy them now. I'm caught up. The pandemic helped with that. But I remember I let this record sit for a long time, at least a year, 2 years before I played it. And I regret that now, because as you're about to hear, the record's pretty scratched up and not great condition. I found out later this record, usually sells for a couple $100 or more. So through the scratchiness, I'm leaving in the scratches and pops for you to, I was like 15 seconds in the song till I was like on the internet Googling, who is this? How do I get more? What happened? Why did I wait 2 years to listen? Anyway, here you go. Here's the title track from Lonely One, Pinky Winters. This is from 1958. Enjoy.
There are times when I feel I have strayed away. There are times when my dreams must be laid away. Time and time again, though the world may be sublime again, everything spins about me, and the world goes on its way without me. look at you, dreaming dreams that won't come true, like Humpty Dumpty on a wall. You tumble, stumble as you fall to a moody...
So yeah, I was hooked immediately. She skyrocketed to the top of the Unaffected charts. And she's held a top spot ever since. So just to maybe drive the point home, a lot of writers, when they write about Pinky Winters, talk about what a great jazz vocalist she is in the way she improvises with timing and with melodies of songs. And maybe if you're someone who is kind of turned off by that phrase, a jazz singer, I'm going to try to do a little illustration of how I think Pinky Winters is like the perfect jazz singer with some counterexamples. So Polka Dots and Moonbeams, great standard. I want to play... So what the point of this example will be to show you like a super straight non-jazz vocal and then a vocal that's a little too jazzed up and then the Goldilocks perfect Pinky Winters interpretation. So first I want to play Glenn Miller Orchestra. Ray Eberle is the vocalist. This is Polka Dots and Moonbeams, sung exactly how the sheet music has written it.
A country dance was being held in a garden. I felt a bump and heard an "oh, beg your pardon." Suddenly I saw polka dots and moonbeams all around a pug-nosed dream. The music started and was I the perplexed one. I held my breath and said, "May I have the next one?" In my frightened arms, polka dots and moonbeams sparkled on a pug-nosed dream. There were questions.
So yeah, not really my cup of tea. Not to diss Glenn Miller. Glenn Miller was cool. I mean, he was name dropped in Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder, one of the great songs of all time. So how bad could he be, right? But this next version I want to play is by Bob Dorough, who you might recognize from the Schoolhouse Rock series. He sang a bunch of them and actually wrote a bunch of those too. And I'm realizing now that I probably knew more about the Constitution as a 5-year-old kid than the current occupant of the White House. Anyway, his version's super jazzy, as you'll hear. And, well, just have a listen for yourself.
A country dance was being held in a garden. I felt a bump and heard an "oh, beg your pardon." Suddenly I saw polka dots and moonbeams all around the pug-nosed dream. The music started, and was I the perplexed one? I held my breath and said, "May I have the next one?" In my frightened arms, polka dots and moonbeams sparkled on a pug-nosed dream. There were questions.
So I don't hate that. There's something appealing about it. But if I were going to have my 1950s liner notes moment, I would say something like, in an era when people are too cute or too stodgy, here along comes Pinky Winters, your Goldilocks perfect jazz singer. Just enjoy. Polka Dots and Moonbeams.
A country dance was being held in a garden. I felt a bump and heard an "oh, beg your pardon." Suddenly I saw polka dots and moonbeams all around a pug-nosed dream. The music started, and was I the perplexed one? I held my breath and said, may I have the next one? In my frightened arms, polka dots and moonbeams sparkled on a pug-nosed dream. There were questions in the eyes of other dancers.
So they say singing is 95% vowels, and I imagine that's true. They wouldn't say it if it weren't. But I kind of love the way Pinky Winters delivers consonants. Like in the example we just heard, the way she kind of curls the R around in garden and pardon and sparkled. Like when Bob Doro does it, he overdoes it, but she just caresses those syllables. And the way she adds vibrato to the ends at the end of words, I think that's where a lot of the authentic emotion comes from. There's something about the subtlety of it all. So let's take a quick listen to one more song. This also has that word garden in it, and it sounds like she kind of relishes singing it. It's cool. This is a really fun, cute song called You Smell So Good. It's from the same album, and yeah, check it out.
You smell so good, like a ball of circus candy, or the fine bouquet of brandy, or tea. Oh, baby, you smell so good to me. What's that aftershave you're wearing? Don't you think it's kind of daring? But it's really got me caring. How I love that aphrodisia. Makes me wanna hug and squeeze ya, or do anything to please ya. Darling, you smell so good, you make me flip. Let's arrange that wedding trip. When the preacher says dig, I'll say I'm hip. You smell so good, like a garden full of roses. And to think this treat for noses is free. Oh, baby, you smell so good to me.
So from Pinky Winters, we go to Joanie Sommers. Huh? Get it? And she's singing a song about spring. So that's about where I'm at. But Joanie Sommers, you may have heard of her. She had a good deal of success in the early 1960s. She had a big hit called Johnny Get Angry. But I want to play a song from her first album, and when she was recorded, I think at 18 or 19 years old. And it's crazy. The front cover of the record has this little paragraph on it. Usually they save this thing for the back cover, but it says, this is Warner Brothers Records. In our constant search for new talent, we sincerely believe Joanie Sommers, all caps, represents the greatest discovery in singing talent in the last 15 years. Whoa. I was trying to do the math to figure out who they were talking about that came out 15 years before. The closest thing I came up with was Doris Day. But even, I don't know, maybe some marketing guy just thought that was the perfect number. But Joanie Sommers was very good. Very sweet tone, a good kind of jazzy inflection in her voice. I can see why they were so excited to put out her records. So let's real quick listen to her version of It Might As Well Be Spring. This is Joanie Sommers.
I'm as restless as a willow in a windstorm. I'm as jumpy as a puppet on a string. I'd say that I have spring fever, but I know it isn't spring. I am starry-eyed like a nightingale without a song to sing. Oh, why should I have spring fever when it isn't even spring? I keep wishing I were.
All right, all you Sherlock Holmeses out there. I bet you know where this next song's going. So I was searching through my collection for songs about or that contain the word autumn, and lots of autumn leaveses. It's a ton of those. That's a very popular one to sing. Many Autumn in New Yorks. But then I found this cool song just called Autumn, and it's performed by Nancy Harrow, who was a singer who put out 2 LPs in the early 60s. She ended up having a long career. I think she's still alive and working in her 90s. She's a writer, and she writes for theater a lot. She writes songs. Good singer, Nancy Harrow. And this song was written by a really cool songwriting figure, Margot Guryan, who she's kind of a cult figure. They've reissued a lot of her records with her singing on them recently, written tons of songs. And she actually has 4 songs on this Nancy Harrow album from 1962. So I don't know what their relationship was, but she certainly was flexing her chops early on. Enjoy. This is Nancy Harrow singing Autumn.
Autumn is over. Lovely gold days turn to cold days. Where is my September love? The one I sang to, live for, loved in early autumn. It's over. Sweet and slow days turn to snow days. Where is my October love? The one who loved me. Spring may thrill the poet, the foolish and the young, but autumn is the treetop on which my heart is hung.
So I mentioned the reissues of some Margot Guryan records. A lot of those are demos, and I feel like sometimes we're so lucky to live in an era when demo recordings and other outtakes are made available to rabid fans. And there is one Pinky Winters demo recording that's made it onto some of these reissues. It's her recording of You Better Go Now, which was made famous by Jerry Southern. I highly recommend seeking out that song. It's really a classic. So here's, as we say goodbye, please rate, review, subscribe, share, what else, however else you need to get the word out. Thanks for listening to Unaffected. We'll see you in a couple weeks with a new episode, and I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. All right, Pinky, take us away.
I want you so now. You have the lips I love to touch. You better go now. You better go because I like you much too much. I like you much too much. That's the tag that's on there, isn't it?
That's good, Pinky.
This has been an Ambivert Media production.